Halloween 2, the sequel to Halloween that they didn't want to do, but they were talked into it.
At the very end of the movie, in the final scene, there are some TV reporters interviewing people. One of the reporters is a famous movie star today. See if you can find him. Got to be really quick. He's in the movie for about 2 seconds. Now you've got to watch to the end, right? Okay, roll it.
The movie begins with Mr. Sandman and the exact ending of the last film. Okay, it's not completely the same. They don't show Michael's face, and they reshoot the scene where he falls down to now be in the front of the house rather than the back. And now the shape leaves a shape in the dew of the grass. And we get the dance remix of the Halloween theme song, leading us into our new opening credits that are kind of the same of the original, but we have a new pumpkin, and this one has a surprise inside. Skull. We follow Michael's POV as he escapes. Michael's played by none of the multiple actors who played him in the first film. Now he's played by stuntman Dick Warlock, which of course is not his real last name, who's Kurt Russell's main stunt double, and he's the father of Billy Warlock, who played Eddie in Baywatch. Michael sees Loomis meeting up with the sheriff, and he tells him that he shot Michael 6 times, even though I guess he missed the 7th. So he hops in his whip and goes looking for Mike. As Mike sees an old couple watching Night of the Living Dead, he goes into their house. He takes a room temperature Coca-Cola and a knife. Then he just leaves. Vernon, I lost the knife, and also there's somehow blood on the counter. Dang damn it, woman, there's gonna be blood when you're cutting ham. You know how much money I spent on that knife set just for you to lose it? The old people yelling alerts the neighbor, who doesn't notice Michael just standing there. And the radio reports about how actor William Shatner has gone crazy and has 3 confirmed kills. I guess make that 4.
But I want to mention that this movie became famous in a kind of bad way because shortly after it came out, this lunatic named Richard murdered an elderly couple in Fullerton, California. And the reason he gave was that he was on drugs, and the drugs caused him to flash back to a scene he saw in Halloween 2, and so he acted out the scene. So his defense was, yes, I killed him. I didn't mean to do it, but I did it. So the jury listened to this whole story and sentenced him to death. But it became known in Fullerton as the Halloween 2 murders. And the only scene I can imagine he's talking about is that scene at the very beginning of the movie where Michael Myers goes into the house and gets the butcher knife and scares the old lady. Anyhow.
Meanwhile, Laurie's getting taken to the hospital by Jimmy and Bud. You can tell it's the 70s because even the inside of an ambulance has wood paneling. Whoops, the kid got a razor blade in the candy, even though there has never been any actual confirmed cases of this. Laurie's doctor for the night is named Mixter, because he likes mixology. Loomis and the sheriff are driving around, and Loomis gets startled by someone who just happens to be wearing the exact same mask as Michael and a blue boiler suit. He claims that it was an accident, but that is way too funny. He definitely thought that was the real Michael. Probably not a good time to mention this, Sheriff, but your daughter's dead. So Sheriff blames Loomis for not cyanide and pixie sticking Michael when he was younger, and he's out of the movie. So now Loomis has a new cop friend named Gary. Meanwhile, Jimmy's thinking Laurie's kind of fine, but her nurse reports that she's got a fractured leg. The cowboy's listening to the news on his boombox and accidentally bumps into Michael, so now he knows where Laurie is. The cowboy is played by Lance Warlock, Dick's other son. As Karen reports into work, and Michael's pissed because she parked in the visitors' parking only. The boys hang out with Janet.
Every other word you say is either hell or shit or damn.
Sorry. I guess I just fuck up all the time.
Ah, man, he's just like me for real.
Did you notice how they edited that cussing scene? Jimmy says, every other word you say is either hell or damn.
Every other word you say is either hell or damn.
Why do I think there's an extra hell in there? And then Brad says, well, sorry, I guess I just up all the time.
Sorry. I guess I just... fuck up all the time.
Why didn't they make him say, sorry, I guess I just hell up all the time? Or sorry, I guess I just damn up all the time? Anyway, the guy playing Brad is Leo Rossi, who would later become well known for the excellent Relentless series. You guys seen those movies, Relentless? I think there's 4 of them. And the actress playing Karen is Pamela Susan Shoop, daughter of the actress Julie Bishop. 2 generations of fine B-movie filmmaking, but who gives a hell, right? Let's get back to the movies.
Laurie's high on morphine, so Jimmy tells her that she was attacked by sister killer Michael Myers. Get the hell out of here! The phones are down, we have 1 security guard, and we're even more understaffed than normal. The security guard gets jumped by a dumpster cat, and we probably should have hired someone else because the doors are unlocked. Even Michael's lost down here. Mr. Potato Head's being no help, so they get hammered instead. As Loomis confirms that Michael's 21 over some barbecue. They investigate as Bud and Karen decide to use the hydrotherapy jacuzzi for some fucking. But the character says it's far too hot, and the actress says it's far too cold and she's getting a fever, so they gotta check on this BOS. But Michael wants to turn into the jacuzzi, and Karen mistakes him for Bud and sucks his thumb, which must be very metallic and dirty at this point. So she gets baptized in the jacuzzi. The investigation finds out Michael left his knife behind with one of his crayon drawings stabbing his sister. He also left a tribute to his favorite band, Samhain. The nurse from the first movie picks Loomis up from school. Maybe we gave Laurie a little too much morphine. But Mixer says not enough, and neither does Michael, injecting an air bubble right into her forehead and grabbing a scalpel. But it turns out the hobbits left the prancing pony already. Michael is using the exact same mask from the first movie. It looks a little more disheveled because they weren't planning to do this film and they didn't keep it in that good of shape, so sunlight and being the 70s, people were smoking a lot of cigarettes around it, and now it's very sepia. A groggy Laurie hops on one leg into another room to nap, as Jimmy and a new nurse named Jill are starting to realize they're even less staffed than normal. Something must be up. Then Jimmy slips on a puddle of blood. Like, a lot of blood. As Jill decides just to book it out of there, but Michael apparently slashed every single tire in the yard. So that's where Michael was before he snuck in. Heading back inside, they find Laurie, but Michael also finds them. After recreating Bob's death from the first film, Laurie, on one leg, all groggy and stuff, still outruns Michael to the elevator, and he just lets her take this ride. He stuck his hand in there. Elevators have a safety. The doors would have opened, even in the 80s. So Laurie makes it outside, and she hides in a car. As Loomis and the nurse have an Uber ride from the police. As they're shooting the shit, it turns out that Laurie is Michael's other sister. So Loomis, at gunpoint, decides to have the car whip around to the hospital. Conveniently, Laurie was in Jimmy's car. But then Jimmy passes out and his face starts honking the horn. Might as well have shot up the bat signal for Michael. Jimmy is out of the movie, but they never state if he's dead or not, so I'm not going to count it. Everyone else arrives at the hospital and Laurie tries hobbling at them, and the assholes lock the door behind them. But they still have enough time to get her, as Michael literally just walks through the door. So Loomis starts blasting him. Their cop friend looks him over, but then Michael just jumps him. Another chase, but Michael ends up stabbing Loomis. And he finally approaches Laurie. But I guess Laurie was using VATS because she ends up shooting Michael in the eyes. And they are popped and he's blind, but they somehow didn't hit his brain. He swats around blind as Loomis turns on the gas. Laurie escapes, and Loomis decides to take the both of them out. Dick Warlock was in that fire suit, and he was apparently fine, except for reasons they put metal zippers on the fire suit, which were the only parts that actually burned him. Michael collapses, and he burns away as Mr. Sandman plays, as Laurie gets taken to a new, better hospital.
I love that Mr. Sandman music at the end. Supposedly, John Carpenter had to be brought in to film a few scenes at the end of shooting because the producers didn't like what Rick Rosenthal did with the picture, but I think it's just a fine picture. I kind of like it.
Final body count? 12. Debatably 13. Counting the first film, that means Michael's killed 17 and 2 dogs.
Of those drive-in totals, and we'll get to it, we have 13 dead bodies, One naked breast. I swear we do. Watch for it. Throat slitting. Throat stabbing. One motor vehicle chase with explosion. Claw hammer to the head. One strangulation. Scalding water to the face. Knife to the forehead. Needle to the ear. Exploding stuntman. 4 stars. Check it out. We'll be here continuing to diddle around like we know what we're talking about. Go.
This is a very good sequel. The acting's good, the new characters are fun, the hospital setting is very unique, even if it does feel a little empty, but it does offer a unique place to get chased through. Laurie being Michael's sister is very whatever. It is important, but I'm kind of like whatever about it. The kills are far more exciting and creative than the first film, and it has a very definitive ending of Loomis blowing up with Michael melting away. Shame they ignored that and they bring him back anyways. And taking place the exact same night as the first film means this is a very perfect part 2 that continues appropriately from the first film. So I would recommend watching both of them together, but as a standalone, I would still give this film a 9.5 out of 10.
Oh, and the movie star seen in the final scene there is Dana Carvey, listed in the credits as reporter's assistant. I would imagine that was Dana's film debut.
Really would appreciate it if you hit the like button and the subscribe button if you're new. Maybe even try and hit the hype button.
Every other word you say is either hell or shit or damn.
Sorry. I guess I just fuck up all the time.